Today our topic is the philosophy of Epictetus in one video. Epictetus was a Stoic philosopher who lived a long time ago, but his ideas are still very important today. He taught people how to live a good life, even when things are hard. His main idea is that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. This is a very powerful idea, because it means that no matter what happens, we always have a choice about how we feel and what we do. Let's start by talking about one of his most famous ideas, the dichotomy of control. This is a fancy way of saying that some things are in our control and some things are not. Things in our control are our thoughts, our actions, and our feelings. Things not in our control are what other people do, the weather and events in the world. For example, imagine you are walking down the street and someone insults you. You cannot control what they say, but you can control how you react. You can choose to be angry, or you can choose to ignore it and keep walking. This is the essence of Stoicism. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. This idea can help us feel less stressed and more peaceful because we stop worrying about things we cannot change. Another important idea from Epictetus is that we should not be attached to things that are not in our control. For example, if you have a nice car, you should enjoy it, but you should not be so attached to it that you feel terrible if it gets damaged. The car is not in your control. Accidents can happen, and if they do, you should accept it and move on. This does not mean you should not care about anything, but it means you should not let external things control your happiness. Happiness should come from inside you, not from things outside you. Epictetus also talked a lot about the importance of accepting what happens in life. He said that we should not fight against reality, but accept it as it is. For example, if you lose your job, you can choose to be upset and angry, or you can accept it and look for a new opportunity. Acceptance does not mean you give up. It means you stop wasting energy on things you cannot change and focus on what you can do. This is a very practical way of thinking because it helps us deal with problems more effectively. Another key idea from Epictetus is that we should focus on our own actions and not worry too much about what other people think. He said that if we always try to please others, we will never be truly happy because we cannot control their opinions. Instead, we should focus on being good people and doing the right thing, even if others do not approve. This is not always easy, but it is very freeing because it means we do not have to depend on others for our self-worth. Epictetus also taught that we should not be afraid of difficulties or challenges. He believed that difficulties are a natural part of life, and that they help us grow stronger and wiser. For example, if you are training for a marathon, the hard work and pain you feel are part of the process of becoming a better runner. In the same way, the challenges we face in life help us become better people. This is a very positive way of looking at problems because it means we can see them as opportunities to learn and improve. One of the most inspiring things about Epictetus is that he practiced what he preached. He was born a slave and had a very difficult life, but he did not let his circumstances define him. Instead, he focused on what he could control, his mind and his actions. He became a great teacher and helped many people learn how to live a good life. His story shows us that no matter how hard life is, we can always choose to be strong and make the best of it. Another important lesson from Epictetus is that we should not complain about things we cannot change. He said that complaining is a waste of time and energy because it does not solve anything. Instead, we should focus on what we can do to improve the situation. For example, if you are stuck in traffic, complaining will not make the traffic go away. But you can use the time to listen to music or think about something positive. This is a very practical way of dealing with problems because it helps us stay calm and focused. Epictetus also believed that we should be grateful for what we have. He said that we often take things for granted and only realize their value when we lose them. For example, we might not appreciate our health until we get sick, or we might not appreciate our family until they are gone. To avoid this, We should practice gratitude every day and remind ourselves of the good things in our lives. This is a very simple but powerful way to increase our happiness, because it helps us focus on what we have instead of what we lack. Another important idea from Epictetus is that we should not judge others too harshly. He said that everyone is doing the best they can with the knowledge they have, and we should try to understand their point of view instead of judging them. For example, if someone is rude to you, instead of getting angry, you can try to understand why they are acting that way. Maybe they are having a bad day, or maybe they do not know how to behave better. This does not mean you should tolerate bad behavior, but it means you should approach the situation with compassion and understanding. Epictetus also taught that we should not be afraid of death. He said that death is a natural part of life, and that we should not waste our time worrying about it. Instead, we should focus on living a good life and doing the best we can while we are here. This is a very freeing idea because it means we can stop being afraid of something we cannot control and start living more fully in the present moment. One of the most important lessons from Epictetus is that we should always strive to be virtuous. He believed that being a good person is more important than being rich, famous, or successful. Virtue means things like honesty, kindness, courage, and wisdom. These are the qualities that make us truly happy and fulfilled, not material things. This is a very important lesson because it reminds us that true success is not about what we have, but about who we are. Finally, Epictetus taught that we should always be learning and improving ourselves. He said that life is like a school and we should always be trying to learn new things and become better people. This is a very positive way of looking at life because it means we can always grow and improve, no matter how old we are or what our circumstances are. In conclusion, the philosophy of Epictetus is very practical and useful for our lives today. His teachings remind us to focus on what we can control, accept what we cannot change, and always strive to be good people. By following his advice, we can live more peaceful, happy, and fulfilling lives. So, the next time you face a challenge, remember the wisdom of Epictetus. Focus on what you can control, accept what you cannot, and always strive to be the best version of yourself. This is the essence of Stoicism, and it is a philosophy that can help us all live better lives.